York's classic rock, Q1043.
Paul Rodgers is our guest this morning here
Yeah.
at Q104.3. We're celebrating his first solo album in, well, it's been almost, what, a little short of a decade. Is that correct, Paul?
25 years.
It's 25 years, actually. I've been too busy.
Well, wait. Okay, I'm
Well,
confused because you came by. We had this album. It was recorded in analog. It was
The Royal Sessions, right?
The Royal Sessions, yes, thank you. Yes, that was a great period of time. For me, it was fantastic to play at in Memphis with these great soul guys.
Oh, so I understand what you mean by solo album. You mean you're not counting that as a solo album, even though it was.
Well, it was sort of, yes, it was, but it was a kind of tribute to soul music that I grew up on. But the new album has a lot of, soul in it too.
Well, one of the things I love is that it's on Sun Records,
Yes.
which is a legendary Memphis record label, and a lot of the, most important British rock stars were so heavily influenced by recordings that were released by Sun Records in the late 1950s, early 1960s, and to see one of the, greatest rock singers of all time, to see his name on a Sun label is just really exciting from a historic point of view.
Well, it really is. Yes, it really is, because they are legendary, and it's such a privilege to be on that label, I must say. I mean, the first single we released, "Living It Up," is my tribute to American music and how powerful an influence for the positive that it's had on the world. Blues, soul, rock and roll, of course, and jazz, and throughout the world, it's been just very positive. So, and the next single, "Take Love," is coming out, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to hear that in just a little while here at Q104.3. Now, when you were a kid, before we had ever heard of you, before Free, before Bad Company, what records did you spend your money on when you went to the record store?
I listened a lot to Otis Redding, actually. Otis Blue, I still got that same record that I had then. And I've been, I bought copies, and it's just so great. There's so much warmth in Otis's voice, so much love, that it just blows my mind even now.
And Paul, just going through the material for this new record, we discovered, we saw this video that your producer, Bob Rock, who produced this record with you guys, said, and he told an interesting story about growing up in Canada and being in a car, and he was like 11 or 12 years old, and All Right Now by Free came on the radio. So what's it like working with Bob Rock on this?
Bob Rock, it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. I mean, he's got such a lot of experience in songwriting too. We made a few little changes to the songs, and just very good, very helpful. And he actually played on it too, played a little guitar.
Well, there's another guy I want to talk about is Keith Scott from Bryan Adams' band playing on this record.
Yeah, Keith Scott from Bryan Adams' band. It was brilliant. He's on the album, throughout the album. He's also on the new single, and so is Leslie Page. She's a great singer that we met on the Joe Walsh tour with Batco, and it's fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a great singer. I mean, you have been named one of Rolling Stone's 100 greatest singers of all time. Okay, cool. 100 greatest singers of all time. Let's be real. Most people that I know say that you are specifically one of the greatest rock singers of all time. Not top 100.
No. It's much lower
wow.
than the top two.
Well,
like,
I mean, you're right at the top, Paul.
Thank you. It's such a wonderful compliment. I mean, I really feel it, actually. It's great. Yeah.
Well, the first time that I saw you perform, I had just turned 18, and I was in Tampa, and it was the Brownsville station and Cactus, and then headlining was Free.
Wow.
and it was, I mean, you just knew you just knew from the very first notes on that record. You just knew that
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the
Well,
start of something big.
yeah, is that right now? I mean, it did blow up. It was incredible how it did, because we were just a bunch of little kids really from various parts of England that had come together in London, because there was a whole music scene in London at the time. And we actually played the blues and soul music. And we developed All Right Now out of that, you see, because it was a very creative format. The 12 Bar Blues is amazing. It's amazing how there's a million songs written on it, and still it's there, and another million can be written on it. Yeah.
Well, it's always been interesting to me that your generation and some people a little older uh, took this great American art form, rock
Mm-hmm.
and roll, blues, rhythm and blues,
Yes.
and and sold it back to us in a way that
I
that
think we did. I think we put a different twist on it.
yeah,
And
but there were a lot of people in the United States who weren't even aware of 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 a lot of these great American recordings. You guys were more aware than some people in America, and it was because of you that we began to learn about our own musical heritage.
it's funny. That's true, because we'd really studied it. Was we got very few records in England, but when they came over, they were very poignant. They made a huge influence, like Muddy Waters, John Lee Hooker. I went to a record store somewhere when I came to America. I thought, oh, I'll get some real blues here, and they'd never heard of John Lee Hooker and these people. I was like, oh, really? Wow. So yeah, it was an education for us, not only but not only in the music, but in the intensity of their feeling. That
Mhm.
we learned how to play from those guys and how to sing, etc.
Well, during the course of your extraordinary career with Free and Bad Company and the Firm, and you played with, a lot of, you know, world-class artists, being one yourself, you've,
I have been very privileged for those. Yes.
I mean, it's been a really storied career. And now, instead of just enjoying the laurels, which some people do, and which you could do if you wanted to, you've decided to move forward with a brand new album. I
Well,
mean, an
thank you.
entire album of material. A lot of artists have, thrown their hands up when it comes to putting out an album.
Yeah.
It's a big investment of time and money, and it's a risk, and you're going for it with Midnight Rose.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, it's all I know how to do, and I'm not even sure I know how to do that. I'm still learning very much. So it's a learning curve. I mean, life has been a rock and roll fantasy. I hate to say that, it's kind of a cliche, but it has, and I'm still amazed at what's there and what can be done. It's incredible. And
And
I have to thank everyone on the album, because there's so many great people came forward. Chuck Leavell from the Rolling Stones.
Oh man, you're so lucky
Yeah.
to play with Chuck.
Oh, he's a lovely cat. He really is. And Bob Rock came forward to produce. My wife Cynthia actually produced as well with Bob Rock, and Randy Stoll mixed it. There's so many great people, and it's an illusion. It's a fantasy. It's brilliant.
and
and,
what
and the fans, yes.
and what about some live performances from you?
Well,
Are
we'll
you
see.
thinking about that, at any time in the foreseeable future?
Not really, to be honest, because it gets harsher and harsher out there. So no, not really. But no plans. Let's just leave it like that. Yeah.
Hey Paul, in your rock and roll years, have you ever met or worked with or come across or just had a brief conversation with Chris Cornell?
Oh no, unfortunately not.
because I was fortunate enough to interview him a few times before his untimely passing. And the last time I interviewed him, I said, Chris, a lot of people look to you as sort of like this, this Robert Plant type person, this style of vocals that you sing, and with Soundgarden and everything else he's done in Audio Slave. Who do you listen to? And he says, Paul Rodgers, man. It's just not fair how good his voice is. And he told that to me.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, he was a great artist indeed.
What a great quote.
Yeah.
It's just not fair how great his voice is.
Exactly.
There isn't higher praise than that.
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
So the new album will be released on September 22nd.
Yes.
And will it be in all the different formats?
It'll be online, yes, indeed. I don't know all the formats because I'm still learning about the technology that's going on today.
No, I'm not talking about technology. I'm talking about when I'm saying all the different formats. I mean, are we going to be able to buy it on 12-inch vinyl? Is it going to be on compact disc?
You can, yes. And you can pre-order as well.
Okay, because I like physical recorded music.
I like vinyl, yeah.
I like to own it. I like to hold it in my hand. I like to put it on the shelf.
Yes, indeed.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, there was a whole world of album covers as well, wasn't there? Hypnosis used to make Led Zeppelin albums, and they made the first. Well, they made all the Bad Company albums as well. The artwork was incredible. Yeah.
Well, the first time that I had the pleasure of meeting Paul Rodgers, I mean, we already spoke about how I was 18 and I saw you in concert. I was 21 here in New York and went to the party that introduced the media to Bad Company.
Wow.
At the Four Seasons restaurant.
It's a Swan Song Records party?
Yes. And it was amazing. And they had the full support, of course, of the big guys at the time who were there to introduce Bad Company to the world.
Wow.
Now think about what a great introduction that was. Did it make you nervous at all? Because that was a lot of attention that was focused on you.
Well, Peter Grant was a big guy anyway, physically, but, and Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, the guys were so amazing. And it was so fantastic to be part of Swan Song. And they opened a lot of doors for us. Really, they did. Yeah, they were so great.
It also put a lot of pressure because you had to perform. When you had Led Zeppelin saying, "This is the great new band," you had to be the great new band.
Yeah. Well, we did have it going on in terms of the communication between the band was very, very strong. So we did feel very positive, and we thought it was a natural situation. Actually, we thought, "Oh, this is America then." Yeah, normal day.
And you've done some work. Speaking of your old Led Zeppelin friends, you've done some work with Deborah Bonham.
Oh yeah, Deborah. Yeah, Debbie. Absolutely. Yes.
From what I've been told, she's a very, very good, talented vocalist.
She's a great, great singer. We toured together. Actually, we toured together in England. I did a kind of farewell free tour. It was called Free Spirit. And she toured with us, and we had her band play with me. She very kindly loaned me her band, Pete Bullock and all the guys, and it was a great, great tour. It was she opened the show for me, and the love from the audience was just fantastic. You could cut it into slices and take it home. It was wonderful.
Paul Rodgers is with us here at Q104.3. So we're going to play Take Love now. What can you tell us about that track?
Well, you've got Chuck Leavell on it, playing keyboards, Keith Scott on guitar, and Leslie Page singing as well. A beautiful singer. It was really nice to sing with her. She's gorgeous, and she's a great singer. So, yeah. Actually, I should tell you about the origin of the song.
Okay.
It started life as we had a Persian cat called Sheriday, and she was very proud and arch, and we couldn't. Every time we tried to stroke her and love her, she'd run away. And I was sitting with my guitar one day, and I heard my darling wife Cynthia say to Sheriday, "Oh, I can't love you if you keep running away." And I thought, "Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a good
I love
line.
you, baby."
That's it.
That was the beginning of the song. It went on from there. Yes.
That, of course, is from the album Midnight Rose, which you can pre-order. It will be released on September 22nd on Sun Records.
From Paul Rodgers. Yeah, who is with us now.
And it's we're on Zoom, so our friends who are listening right now, I want to just thank you so much for getting up early in the morning in California to be with us early in the morning here on Q104.3. We really, really do appreciate it. And we've always enjoyed your visits with us in person. So whenever you're in New York, please come by and please give our warmest regards to Cynthia. She's accompanied you on more than one occasion.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. And thank you, Jonathan, too.
New York's classic rock, Q104.3.